Is it fair for an athlete to have a cheat day? Absolutely. And I'm going to tell you why. But before I get going, this series is based on understanding the things that you hear that are literally myths. And I'm going to break it down, the 80-20 rule. But before we get started, I want you guys to check in and make sure that you have your pens and your paper. We have a couple of things to give to you that will help you along this way when you're confused about what you should and what you should not do. Because people who are in the industry, they kind of tell you and they lead you astray. But I'm going to let you know that I feel svelte and lean, and I'm eating a cookie. And if you want to understand how this all works, I'm going to give you a breakdown. Now, there was a fighter. His name was Ricky Hatton. And if you're from the UK, you understand this guy. You know who he is and you know what they called him. His name was Ricky Hatton. But after his fights, they would call him Ricky Fatten because he'd immediately put on 40 pounds going to the pub, drinking, eating, and just going gorge. Why? Number one, it's because he first was restricted from everything that he loved. And now look, the bottom line is this. You don't want to be a gorger and you don't want to sit around eating all kinds of stuff all the time. But the method in which you go about having your goodies and accomplishing, superior feats on the planet is having what we call the 80-20 rule. And what is that? Check this out. Take 1 second.
It's time you want to be having whole foods, grains, fruits, vegetables, meats. 20% of the time, you can go get a burger, you can go get a fry, you can go and get ice cream, but just be choosy of when you're having those. Instead of eating it the night before a game, choose to go eat it right after your game when your body wants to use all those sugars and carbs to refuel itself.
You see, it's not what you do, it's how you go about doing it, okay? You don't consume a bunch of stuff before you're going out because it gives you a boost, but you also have a crash. So if you play soccer, if you play football, if you play basketball, in the midst of that high, you're going to experience your low because those sports typically run over 2 hours. And if you understand nutrition on any level, you know that you cannot allow yourself to get to that crash. And that's when your sugars, they shoot to a high and then they crash to a low. So how do you go about doing this? First, you understand nutrition. And the nutrition concept of eating is 80-20. And when we break it down, it's understanding how to get all of your whole foods throughout the actual day. 20% of that day or your overall week, however you want to measure 20%. It could be one day where you just get to go crazy. Like most bodybuilders, they have their cheat day and they just kind of, if you go look at The Rock, his cheat day looks like, I can't even compare it to anything. But understand this, my people, when you are learning about something, this is where the scroll throws us off on what we're actually trying to accomplish with learning. You have to stop and understand each pillar of what you're trying to learn. Okay, so the 80-20 whole foods, making sure you're getting your carbs, making sure you're getting your meats. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a complete strength day meal. Okay, and you'll understand conceptually the 80-20 rule. So hold on 1 second, and I'm going to pull up this meal broken down so that you can take it in and you can actually apply it. Don't worry about taking notes right now because I'm going to finish telling you about the Ricky Hatton story and then show you this video, which lasts about 65, 70 seconds. But the key is understanding that when Ricky Hatton would go to camp, he would be in camp and he would go cold turkey with everything. So after the fight, win, lose, or draw, it would totally make him feel like, damn, I done sacrificed all of that time. And so you're going to have those feelings of regret and you're going to feel entitled to it. And so you're going to make it your reward. But if you fuse it in, it's not going to impact you that way. But what he would do is all of those emotions would be with him immediately after the fight. Like he couldn't even do the post-fight press conference because he was so focused on going to Burger King or McDonald's or whatever is the number one place in the UK. Or if he fought in America, it's going to be gourds of junk and then hit the pub and slam down beer. Now, I'm telling you, I'm going to give you the statistics of the body's tolerance for alcohol. And this means you, Mr. I can drink a little bit. The body's tolerance for alcohol is 0. Okay. The body's tolerance for alcohol means it can't recoup from alcohol because it has 0 tolerance. Alcohol is a poison to the body. So you have to realize, what is it that you're going to do? Well, when you're consuming stuff, you got to think about what's your price tag. Your price tag is going to show up. Look at fighters who have and athletes. And by the way, this goes for anyone who's an athlete or wants to operate and live on a life on earth athletically. Okay, so if you're someone who's really serious about your fitness and you just want to stay conscious about it, then this is definitely for you. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to kind of lay it out what this actually would look like inside of your kitchen. So this is our power boxing meal plan. Check it out.
Fuel your body like a champion with our strength building meal plan for boxer athletes. This low carb, gluten-free, organic meal plan is designed to optimize your performance. Let's break down your daily nutrition, starting with a post-workout recovery smoothie. This nutrient-packed smoothie delivers 550 calories of pure recovery fuel. Don't forget to hydrate with 20 ounces of electrolyte-enhanced water. For your second meal, enjoy this high-protein power bowl, packing 750 calories. It's perfectly balanced with 45 grams of protein, 10 grams of carbs, and 40 grams of healthy fats. If needed, grab a protein and fat-rich snack of 250 calories to keep you going. For dinner, indulge in a grass-fed steak with a veggie medley, totaling 700 calories. Cap off your day with an optional fat bomb or collagen drink for an extra 200 calories. This meal plan provides 2,100 to 2,400 calories daily, with an ideal macro balance for boxers. Stay hydrated with 100 ounces of electrolyte-enhanced water throughout the day. Fuel your recovery, maintain low carb, and achieve peak performance.
All right. So that's the power boxing. So if you're someone who really takes great pride, was that good for you guys? Just give me a heads up if that was something that you really found that you could do and it wouldn't like push you to the edge. Is that something you could actually like follow throughout the day? Because that's your post strength workout. That's your entire day. And when you got that, what we want to do is make sure that if you find anything too difficult, you ain't serious. But we will make sure that the ways that we roll it out is much more simple, right? Because the key is just making sure that you can have something that immediately after you train, you know exactly what you're doing, because that's where most people don't get it right. They think about, what they want to look like, but they don't realize if they don't have this all laid out, then they fall and they flounder because they just simply cannot stick to the thing because they haven't written it down. They haven't decided, I'm going to commit to a plan. Now, going into 2025 and 2026, You don't want to wait till the new year just to start. You want to get all of those goodies inside of your body. Okay. And what does goodies do? This is one of the facts. And here's another one of our experts that speak directly to the fact that you can consume bad things, because you're just the atmosphere is bad, just the environment alone. So you're always dealing with free radicals. You're always dealing with toxins on some level, but you can supersede those things like this.
Are sick in the world is not because they eat bad shit. It's because they don't eat enough good shit. So we don't put enough nutrients in our body. You can actually cancel out bad shit if you put enough good shit in.
Okay.
So you need good stuff. You need nutrients.
Okay. Oh, and that's the key. Having the awareness that you could cancel out bad stuff by literally, and we're talking about people who live this life, not really or only around it every once in a while. These people really do it like Monday through Sunday. When you are around people who are professional, what you're going to find is what they base things on is data collected. And when you got 3 and 4 decades in the game of this, then you have collected some data. Now, with that being said, I said that I was going to make sure that you guys have a meal plan visual that would literally help you comprehend. So this right here to the side is really what the meal plan would look like for the week, your lunch. Like these are your lunches for the week, or it's either the dinner. I can hardly see the screen because I'm so immersed in eating my peanuts and cookies. So right here, if this really gave you more insight, then make sure you have the prep and the mindset going into this thing. And if you do, then if you want to try this meal plan out right here so you can get on course, then just type the word hungry down in the comment boxes below, and someone will make sure that you get this directly into your inbox or email. Let me see. Good, Derek. Derek, where are you from, brother? It's good to see you. Let me know what part of the world you're watching from. I'm here in South Florida, of course, rocking the short sleeves, but we want to make sure that everybody has total clarity on starting something that has a direction and not listening to everyone telling you shouldn't eat bad food. I kept my guys in camp 8 pounds around their weight. Most of the time, 7, 6. But I'm just saying, worst case scenario, a dude's 8 pounds off. We didn't weight bully because we were so skilled. I made sure all our guys were skilled enough to beat anyone that's in their weight class or even a weight class above them. But the fact of the matter is, yeah, I see people typing hungry. Hey, Mr. Duke Barker II. Good to meet you and welcome to the School of Boxing, Master Boxing's page. And let me see. Derek, Arizona. Welcome, Arizona. Arizona is another warm state. And Missouri. All right. Good places. Ozark. You know what that means? Oh, is that Michigan? Either way, having these plans in front of you, what it'll do is it'll set your mind to a place where you know what you're going to do. Now, don't get it twisted. One of the key reasons why we fail during the beginning, in the middle, of the end of the year is because of distraction. So, as I said before, the scroll is what messes you up. So stop scrolling. Take this meal. All right. These are your lunches Monday through Sunday. And I operate off of intermittent fasting, but the key is really learning what you're going to do so you can actually educate other people. Maybe you have a mom or your aunt or your cousin or your sister or your brother that literally have eating issues, but you know they have discipline. They just don't have the process in place to follow it. Then you can really help other people, because the bottom line is the time that we're here on this planet, it's about how much can you help someone else, not the fact that you got to a place where you're safe, but how many other people can you rescue while you're at this? Okay. It's what we call the Harriet Tubman effect. I could slide across the railroad track and get myself to safety, but let me just open up the pathway for many other people. Okay. Because once you figured out how to get money, how to start businesses, how to help other people becomes your number one, what we call what you embark in on the planet, what you're actually here to do. So some people are focused on charitable contributions, whether that's with their time or with their money. But when it comes down to consumption, putting food in our bodies, I understand exactly what is relevant to give to people at that point in time in their life so they can be one step closer. But what we have to do is take the time immediately after. What I do is I get a link, I take the link, I put it in my phone. And once I put it in my phone, I set the day where I spend the time to study that thing, take all the notes, download whatever is necessary, and I get the most from that lesson. Okay. So you've saved so many videos on your timeline or in your phone, but you haven't set the time to go into it and start studying it. So what I'm going to challenge you today to do is when you take this information that we're giving to you, and it took time to build it and create it, it costs money to get it done and properly laid out so that you will have something that's concrete and timeless, is I'm going to challenge you to take it and say, I'm going to learn this all the way. I'm going to stick to this all the way. And I'm going to follow every day to see what Master Boxing is going to put on the timeline to help us with our physical training, to help us with our actual eating, and to give us a process in which to run our places, our facilities, because that's exactly what we're going to do every single day. There's going to be something that help you move one step closer. The only thing we ask that you do is commit to following someone who's laying it out for you day after day like we are. It doesn't have to be us. Maybe I'm not who you rock with. The bottom line is get with someone and follow the process, because at the end of the day, this is not that hard. The only thing that's hard is overcoming those distractions, because you're brilliant when you wake up in the morning. And then all of a sudden, that wave of distractions start. That's why we have to take time and commit to the process and continue to follow. And let me see, my man Derek, everything I've learned from you has greatly helped me because a better boxer. And now my second sparring match is coming up and I'm doing good because of your teaching. Derek, I received that, brother. I received that, brother. Challenge accepted. Yeah, I'm glad you will accept that challenge, because every single day we want to make sure that it doesn't matter who it is that decided to follow this page, that we learned something many years ago that I know could help. And so it's not about me. It's about, hey, how many people can you really help too? Maybe it's your brother, maybe it's your wife or girlfriend, or maybe it's one of her friends or her parents. But can you pay it forward? Because the first thing that we learn about the world of combat from the sport of boxing is the highest level isn't skills. The highest level is humility. It's about what you're doing on earth. So impact the earth going into 2025 and 2026. It does not matter about what you're taking. What are you giving? And that's the message for today. So, like I said, if this information really benefited you and you know that this is going to help you, make sure you type the word hungry, and we will get that 7 days of what you should put in your body, or what we did with our clients to help them get on task for intermittent fasting and maximizing their body weight. And so hopefully this was something of value to you. Make sure you tag a friend that you think would truly benefit from this as well. That helps us connect with more people, and it gives us much more inspiration to motivate and give you some blueprints to things that will help your life. So that's all I got right now. Type the word hungry if you want to bump with that little nutrition, and we'll see you later on this evening as we get directly into understanding how to deal inside of the boxing ring, not allowing yourself to fall for the most common mistakes that boxers make. This is going to be a great conversation. So that's all I got for today. But I'll see you guys all soon in the winner's circle. And if you haven't subscribed to our broadcast, the winner's circle, it's absolutely free and it is badass. So go up to Facebook or Instagram and subscribe there today. So long. Peace.